Okay, this is an example of how to learn the wardens, advanced invocations. Um, we're going to be focusing mostly on phase 4 of wardens and also learning insanity. So for invocations, the only thing you're going to have on is overclocked 2, insanity, and on a diet. Just bring a blowpipe. Just bring something like this gear. Make sure to bring a bronze crossbow, bronze bolts, bronze longsword, and also a super combat and a ranging potion. Just knock out Baba first. If you don't understand any of these mechanics, just look up like a basic Tombs of a Mascot guide to learn the mechanics. I colored these in such a way that I know what they're attacking me with. You can get some sounds going if you want, if you're a sound person. I don't use sounds in this game, so I like to listen to music and do other things. Pray melee, attack this guy. Run over to these rocks whenever this comes. Alright, put your blowpipe on. Make sure to put rigger on here so you can one-shot these. I don't think you need to take your divine ranging. Oh, you do need to take your... Alright, drink your divine ranging before this fight starts, probably. Alright, keep attacking this guy. Dump all your specs. You don't need a boulder skip. You can if you want. Oops. Try not to do that. And if you die, it doesn't matter at all. You just keep going. Don't restart the raid or anything. Just try it again. I don't know if you could have ran away there and ran over by the rocks to not get hit by 50 or whatever, but make sure to get the plugin for this. It basically just makes it a zero work type of thing. Alright, take another divine range or combat. Dump some specs into this guy. Don't get hit by his bombs. Doesn't really matter where he blasts you on the first one. Pray range for the entire fight. Attack this guy. You don't have to attack these swarms at all. I'm just trying to speed up the raid a little bit. Alright, for your second one, I'm going to be over by where your first dung pile was. avoid these bombers that come down. Oh, we need to attack this guy first. Forgot. This guy will do a lot of damage if you don't kill him first. But on this level of raid, it doesn't matter that much. And if you do die, just do it again. If you're dying multiple times and you run out of potions, it doesn't really matter. Okay, we're gonna take life, and then we're gonna do, which one should we do? I guess we can do Akka first. The only reason we're taking life here is because this is for learning. When you're doing any type of serious raid, you're going to be doing the power, which is salt. There's a plugin for this. I think it's just the TOA Tombs of a Master plugin. If you have 85 mining, you can get this down in one go if you're tick perfect, and when you attack, and there's guides online for that as well. Okay, don't withdraw anything out of here. Just take one of each of these, put your mage gear on, head in, start maging the guy, pray against melee. Get your blowpipe on, attack this guy. We got the wrong defensive prayer on here. Take some damage. It's up to you. You can either just reset, or you can use some brews to get healed back up. Okay, well, we're gonna reset because I'm not used to this timing on here, but alright, reset. Alright, we don't have any super combat. I'm just not gonna do anything here. Pray, we need mage gear. Watch what this guy's praying. Make sure you have the correct radius markers. You can probably look up Tombs of a Master radius markers, or Akka radius markers, or something like that. One, two, three, four. You don't have to attack in between each thing if you don't want. Blowpipe, I think, is the strongest here. We changed attack style there, so I swapped to protect against mage. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Black, yellow, black, yellow. Alright, pray against melee, since he's red. Get your mage gear back on. Okay, protect against range. Okay, put that bow plate back on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, go ahead and drink some brews to kind of get your health up a bit here. Drink a restore. As soon as he's dead, put on this. Put on protect from magic. Put your melee gear on. Go attack the only shadow that's alive. You can try to skip these if you want. It doesn't really matter that much if you do or not. Kind of just need to survive. If you take too much damage, if you're under about 50 health, just pound some Saradomin brews and should be good. Okay, last boss before wardens. Don't worry too much about learning these mechanics. You can if you want. It'll eventually save time. It's kind of you're probably not really going to remember it all. If you learn all the mechanics as you go along here, I recommend just get through it however you can. You gotta grab a water container, go in, get some water, come back out, water the tree. It's probably going to take you a lot more attempts than that. If you're when you're running out, if you get hit, it reduces your current water amount in your container by 50%. So, all right, take your divine ranging potion out. Use it and start attacking this guy. You can throw in some special attacks. Jump to these. Oh, forgot the range is very limited here on a blowpipe. Try to run to these gaps over here. And again, on any of these bosses, if you die, just try it again. Okay, you're gonna push this, attack it. That blows it up. Then run behind the rock. Pray against what this guy's shooting out the whole time. Not that difficult at this level. Can take a little getting used to for sure, but if it's a rock thing, that means it's range. If it's a red thing, then that means it's mage. Okay, I guess we'll just run over here. Run to this gap. Run to this gap. Protect against the... Oops. Protect against the incoming projectile. Or do your best to, again, you're not taking that much damage, so... yeah. Push this rock into these boulders, these jugs into the boulders, and then just... Oh, yeah. I guess my prayer ran out there. Keep your prayer somewhat high. You can use your special attacks whenever you get them. This takes a little longer than it would with like a crossbow or something, I think, but it really doesn't matter. Okay. All right. We're gonna take life again. Okay, we can't actually take life, so what we're gonna do, or you can, but you have to do something first. So move your ambrosias and your scarabs to the top area. Then right click, withdraw all from your bag. And you can drop your divine ranging potion. If you have any restores or anything, you can just drop those that are not full. You can drop those. And then now try to take life. Okay, still not enough room. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use our Ceradomin brews, or no, let's use our restores on this pot. Deposit all of those, then use our brews in here. And let's just deposit 5 for now. Claim, let's just see if we can, oh, and then withdraw all again. And then try to take life. And okay, it did let us that time, and we're good to go. You can also deposit that junk in there in the pot if you don't want to waste 2k or whatever. Okay, what we're gonna do here, we need all of our ambrosias out. And I recommend just putting them in the bottom left corner. So to get stuff out of here, once you've got a lot of stuff out, you've kind of got to put things back in, or else drop it on the ground. But we're not going to drop it on the ground right now. So you don't need very many of these restores. If it's pink, it's the same as a super restore. If it's yellow, it's the same as a brew. Don't worry about the names too much. Okay. Just kind of try to line your stuff up in a way that kind of makes sense. And then open this, withdraw both of your ambrosias. And I think that's good enough because you need enough room for your two-handed weapon. So yeah, get your gear up towards the top or something like that. It doesn't matter very much, but all right, we're gonna fang this down. Click this, put on your piety, and attack this. Oh, you need to stand here. Let some of these orbs hit you. Get down to around 70 and then step out. Make sure you don't let those things hit you too much. You just stand outside of them. Same goes for this. Here you can't attack because the lights are in the way of the pyramids. Alright, we got an incoming there. It's going to hit us for 24. This one's going to hit us for something. 16. That's a bummer. Taking some hits. It's okay. This is dead. We're going to go over here. We're going to chug some brews. Just chug some brews. Get up to full health. That's good enough. Now drink a couple doses of restore. Get your mage gear on. That rock is, you need to protect from, that's a missile, protect from range. You don't need an offensive prayer here, but just pray defensive. I use this spot as my main spot. Most people actually use a different spot here, but this works just as good as the other spot. And if you find a guide online that you prefer, just do whatever you feel like doing here. So yeah, we're gonna attack this guy down. Once he's about dead, watch out for these bombers. They blow up in, I think, 1 second. All right, get your melee gear on. Do a couple specs on this. Make sure your piety's on. I want to do 3 specs and then switch over to the fang. Give him a couple of those. Probably just one of those on this one. All right. Now get your range gear on. Protect from whatever he's attacking with. That is a range attack. This is a mage attack. You can actually tell before the projectile leaves what he's attacking with, because unless it's one of those special attacks like that, but when he kind of does a baseball pitch like that, that's always a ranged attack. When he does that other thing where he's kind of casting with as if his thing there is a staff or something, then that's either a mage attack or one of those little specials. Turn your piety on. We can drop a couple more specs here. 1, 2, and then just fang for the rest of it. And if you die here, again, it's the same thing. Just keep going, reset. Restart. Don't reset the raid, just restart the boss. Keep trying. And if you want, once in a while you can eat up a little bit. Those things that'll trap you in place, so you want to move out of the way. It's a mage. These bombers, you can stand in close or you can run away. If you stand in close, you need to be up or down, can't be on an angle. Anyways, plenty of guides out there to see the mechanics here. That's not really something that I can do as good as has already been done. Alright, throw your patty back on. Drop a couple more specs on this guy. 1, 2. Maybe we can get this guy in 3 downs, hopefully. We got another spec here. As soon as this attack goes, I'm going to try another spec. And back to the fang. Okay, no go. Doesn't matter. Put your range gear back on. Keep your prayer up a little bit. We've been taking some damage here. Let's heal back up. Get our stats back in place. Okay. This all takes a little bit of practice. So you're probably going to die a few times. You might use a bunch of your brews there, but that's okay. Perfect. I'll just finish him off. Okay, if you have a bowfly or better, I recommend doing this part with probably the blowpipe, but otherwise use the fang. Oops. Oh yeah, also this is insanity, so you're probably going to die here pretty quick. Takes some getting used to on this timing. So basically what you're doing is just, I believe it's a 3-tick cycle. Every 3 ticks it does another attack, so you just have to get used to it. It's just, I recommend definitely marking all these middle tiles. If you need to just stand here and drink brews, get full on health. Also mark these 2 tiles, those tiles over there. Alright, we're going to run over here and skull skip. That's another thing to learn. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I would say if you need to mark these tiles, drink up on your brews, just get maxed out on your brews. And you can right click this. I recommend actually before you start here, swap your shift click to withdraw all. Otherwise you have to right click, withdraw all, which can be really hard to do in this room. But if you need to do it, just drink enough brews that it's not going to be an issue. And then sit there, tank a couple hits, but then you right click, withdraw all. But best to just swap it to shift click, and then you can just easily shift click, withdraw all. So yeah, to figure this timing out, I'm not really trying to master this timing right now, but it's probably easier to master this before you kind of figure out the phase 4. So yeah, anyways, like I was saying, when you come in, you can chart, or before you come in, I guess, or after you come in, heal up, and then just start marking these tiles. Mark some tiles. You're going to take some damage, but not that much damage. actually does 20 damage, so you probably only tank about 4 or 5 hits before you're dead, but tank a couple hits and then try to, I don't know, figure out a way to mark these tiles. We can probably import these packs from somewhere. I don't know how to export or whatever, otherwise I would just give them to you, but you can mark these middle tiles and you can know what the middle is. Once you have that marked and you know what the middle is, then you can just then you're just gonna go, you're gonna start off right every time, then you go left, and there, sorry, it goes middle, right, left, middle, right, left, middle, right, left, middle. You can zoom out a little more. I was just trying to zoom in to show you what's going on there. But I play a little more zoomed out so I can see the attacks earlier for the Zebar. I played that right there probably most of the time. If you need to skip attacks to do another action, just do it at first. I mean, not a big deal. So this skull skipping, that's a whole nother thing. And I recommend probably just watching other people that can show you how to do it, but as a short summary, I would just say you're just perfectly running in whenever he does his wave attack to avoid the wave attack. You gotta spam with skull. You gotta avoid other attacks. You gotta pray against other attacks. You gotta have the timing down, so practice is key on there. Okay, I got a little distracted there. We're down to 5% almost, but once you're down around 10%, stop attacking. And then get all healed up. Oops, almost did it again. Almost. Get all healed up. Get your blowpipe on, get your bronze crossbow on, that's why we brought it. That bronze crossbow on. Keep praying against this stuff. You got your stats all maxed out here, all good. I also recommend swapping your left click to resupply. So your regular, if you just click that, it'll resupply everything you've got. If you shift click it, it'll pull more stuff out of your bag. Kind of a cool deal. Okay, so now we're just going to attack this guy with bronze crossbows. Now we're ready. We're overhealed. We've kind of got everything we need here. Attack him. Okay, now as soon as this starts, that's his enraged phase. So now don't stop attacking and run away from these shadows while you're praying these against these. At first, all you're going to be able to do is probably just run away. Just try not to get hit by them. You can see we're getting hit here a little bit. So just, when you see them, try to run away. Be ready to drink some brews. Now remember, these back rows obviously are getting peeled up, so you're going to end up standing on this final row, which you're always safe here from the peel up effect, but things can get very tight in this row. Okay, so as we take damage here, we are going to basically be praying a little bit of restore. Don't be drinking your ambrosia unless you're under like 60 health. Otherwise, as soon as you get under 100 or something like that, like here, I'm going to drink a restore. I'm going to take another step. I'm going to drink another restore. Pray against the next thing. Take another step. Drink more. Not restore, brew or whatever. So you're just trying to balance that. You're like drinking one thing, trying to avoid the shadows. You're trying to walk. But you don't take that much damage when you make mistakes. So it's great for practicing. And you've got a ton. We took life both times, so we've got like quite a few resources here. So again, this just takes a ton of practice. Keep your prayer up a little bit. Doesn't take that much prayer, but it does take a little bit. Just keep that up a little bit. Keep an eye on that. So you're probably going to die way before this because I've been skipping around a lot. So initially, you're going to be just drinking one of these restores. I mean, ambrosias probably, because you're not going to be able to balance chugging the brews. So you're going to drink the ambrosias instead, but that's okay. Just drink a few of those if you need to. Just try to survive. But then try to actually, don't just sit in one place chugging ambrosias trying to survive. You need to be kind of mentally prepared to, before you even start the warden's fight, you kind of need to be mentally prepared that the whole reason we're doing this is to get good at this part of the fight, so I need to know the mechanics somewhat. So as these shadows spawn, I walk away from them if I see them, and if I have like a clear opportunity to. So the worst thing that can happen here is getting hit by a boulder. Second worst thing is getting hit by one of these attacks from Zebok. And alright, I'm going to heal up a little bit here with some brews. I'm taking a lot of damage. So you can see that when you're kind of distracted, you can easily take a lot of damage. You have to be pretty precise with your clicks, both for your prayers and for where you're walking. Oops, we just tanked the boulder. So you don't want to tank the boulder. So yeah, tanking the boulder is the worst. The most damage that can happen to you. Tanking one of those off of prayer is the second worst. And the least damaging is the lightning strikes on the ground. You can't really tell it here from the way this damage is so limited here, but on higher invocations you'll definitely be able to tell it. A boulder will hit you for like 55. These attacks here will hit you for, something like 35 or 40. And the lightning attacks only hit for about 20, 25. So it makes a big difference. Getting hit for 65 versus 25 is a max hit. Pretty big difference. So yeah, the first thing you want to do is really prioritize. You want to be missing these boulders that fall down. You want to be able to jump. Probably when you first come in here, don't even worry about the lightning that much. Just pray against this guy and avoid these boulders. And just tank the lightnings. Now, here I'm just going to tank lightning. Avoid the boulder. Drink a brew. I switched a little bit too early there, but drink more brew. There's a lot of brew here. Also, you don't need to be attacking. I'm kind of attacking here, but the point here initially is not going to be to do any attacks. It's just to escape. So, once you get to a point where you've just had some practice, you just need some repetition, some practice, just developing some muscle memory to try to run around, pray, whatever this guy's doing, skip, avoid these boulders, and chug some brew. Then you need to start focusing on how to avoid these lightning strikes. Okay, to avoid the lightning strikes, we need to be stepping onto the lightning the tick before it explodes. So that was too early. Let me get some more brews going here. Alright, so here, right? And another example here, run away, step on here. Oh no. Alright, we're dead. I was trying to get a good example for you there. I didn't use any of my ambrosias, but you will probably have used most of your ambrosia. So yeah, I don't know, just try your best there. To survive. I'm going to do another one here which this is going to be more where you want to get to instead of just the next step. If you're first coming in to learn insanity and that insanity is wiping you, don't worry about getting to phase 4 and mastering that. If that insanity keeps wiping you, I got wiped for a while by insanity. Just keep doing insanity. Stay in here, keep trying, use whatever ambrosia, whatever brews you need to do to learn that first so that you can actually get to phase 4. Once you can, because insanity doesn't take, if you spend an hour trying to learn insanity, you're probably going to be good. Maybe not, because it does take a lot of time to get through this first part. That's the hardest thing about wardens, is it's really hard to learn because you have to get through this whole sequence of things before you can learn the most difficult part. The other bosses, you can sort of just learn the hardest part directly. Die, try it again. The only exception being the orbs at Akka. You have to get all the way through Akka before you can learn those. So, yeah, I'm going to do this again. And you may or may not have noticed that my stats were all the way down to 0 with my crossbow. And that's good. Really, the only reason I brought the crossbow is to show this example that I'm about to show, which is once you're actually comfortable where you're kind of skipping the shadows pretty well, and then you can actually start incorporating skipping the shadows while praying against the Zebok while dodging the boulders. Then you're good to go to start attacking the boss between each hit. Okay, this is a very low level raid, So I want you to be able to get plenty of practice attacking the boss without worrying about hitting him. If you've reduced your stats a bunch, that's great because you're not actually going to kill the boss, but you'll still be able to get more practice shooting at the boss. If you kill the boss, that's the end of the raid. You have to go through the entire raid again. No good. Not good at all. So, yeah. So that's why, bronze crossbow, bronze bolts, and those stats being down is actually a good thing. So let's get our stuff on here. I'm just gonna run through this real quick. Oh, I messed up. We're just gonna suicide out. I forgot to. I'm just gonna suicide and reset. I forgot you're supposed to block these orbs. Okay. Try it again. Alright, we're down in the 70s. I'm gonna stop attacking. You get hit by a couple orbs. I think you actually reduce your damage if you pray protect from magic. This is only on these low level raids. On high level raids, I think it doesn't matter if you pray that. But anyway, here we go. Let's put our mage gear on. Let's heal up a little bit. And I'm just going to get through this quickly, so I'm not going to explain that much. Heal up a little bit. Put your mage or your range gear on to help help with range defense in case you miss an attack. Things like that. So yeah, look up guides on how to wave skip. Be sure to mark this row so that you know it's the wave skip row. There's a similar row on the other side that you can mark also. I always use the left side, but I don't think it makes any difference. So for my calculations, melee is stronger on this boss at 440 level raids or higher than Dragon Crossbow. Dragon Crossbow with Ruby bolts. So I highly recommend using melee for got a little ahead of myself there. Using melee if you don't have Bofa. Bofa is definitely stronger than melee, but not in the enrage phase. In the enrage phase, you'll almost certainly get screwed if you try to use melee because it'll drag you out of position, which is not a good deal. But yeah, until you're getting up to the enrage phase, Fang is very strong. Okay, I went a little bit too far again, but once you get to around 10%, drink some brews, get over brewed, finish them off. actually equip your bronze crossbow. Get your prayer up. Okay. Now now I'm actually going to, first I'm just going to try to avoid getting hit by anything. So these shadows, you can step onto them as they're exploding. That means you need to step, I need to pray. You need to step as they're about to explode. That's not that important, obviously, when there's a bunch of empty space like this, but it becomes very important once it gets down to last row. Because sometimes one block will explode one tick before the block right next to it, and you have to be able to recognize the timing of that to escape the explosion that's about to happen on the one that you're standing on. Okay, I'm going to drink some brews. So I'm just going to do this for a little bit and try not talk about it. Try not to take any damage that I can avoid. Oops. Oh. Well, I'm going to drink an ambrosia because I'm messing this up. Not a very good sample run, but and you can do a lot of, yeah. A bit too early on that one. You want to be able to step past and then back when necessary. Recognize that. Really, eventually you need to get this mastered before you start farming high level raids. It's kind of crazy, but in my opinion, it's much faster to I'm going to tank one here. It's a much faster way to make significant amounts of profit than slowly learning the slowly increasing invocations. So you kind of need to recognize what's going on the tile underneath you at the same time as you're watching the other tiles. You're not going to be staying on a particular tile very long anyways, because the boulder is going to come down on there. So you're always looking for a new place to go, and you're looking for not a clear spot, you're looking for a spot that's about to pop, and you just want to find a way to get there without without stepping on it too early. So like, I see a spot where the shadow's starting, but I don't. And so I make a step towards it, and then I click on it when I recognize that it's going to pop on the next tick. And a lot of it's just muscle memory. And just, I mean, if you can just sit here and practice this, you know, when you need to, drink an ambrosia, you know, you can try to drink some of these brews. It's kind of hard to drink brews while you're doing all this stuff. A little bit too early. So one thing that I do to arrest, so like sometimes you might get used to clicking all the way across the map, but you actually want to stop at a particular square. And so to stop, you actually just attack the boss, and that stops you. And in some ways that makes it almost easier. To attack the boss than to actually just run away. I mean, than to run around without attacking the boss. So, I think this is a good opportunity to show you using, starting to, hopefully you've kind of got the idea here. There's plenty of guides out there that, or videos of people doing this that you can kind of just watch, probably better than me. I'm going to drink an ambrosia. Now I'm going to start attacking the boss. Now eventually you do want to do this. What you're doing now is you're watching your prayer level a little bit. Just once in a while you pop a glance over there when you have a free second. Try not to move too early, like I keep doing here. But yeah, attack this boss. Usually you can get an attack in as you step onto a square. Sometimes you have to miss attacks. I think I have gone sometimes a full 5 or 6 seconds or more without getting a single attack in, just because I'm not going to, just because I have to keep moving. I have to keep moving to get out of the way of the shadows. Avoiding the boulders becomes kind of second nature. The only thing that can screw you over is stepping back onto a boulder spot that you were just on. And on last row, you're not going to be able to avoid every single lightning strike. You can avoid all the other attacks for sure, but sometimes they just don't spawn in a way that actually works. I believe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody's researched it out there to see if that's actually. So here's a great example. Just pop an ambrosia. We're getting low on health. Keep rolling. Once you get pretty experienced, you'll be in here for a long time like this. But I recommend spending hours and hours in here trying to learn this. It's brutal. I mean, it's grueling. It's you're not making any money. Whatever, but it's just if you're gonna farm this raid, it's invaluable, this skill right here, to just be able to last as long as possible. And I mean, you don't have to last, forever. It just if you have a bofa, you're gonna be on last row for on a 500, 495-ish raid. You might be on the last row for 45 seconds on average. I don't know. And then with and then with the shadow, even on like a 500 level raid, I would say on average you'll spend about 15 seconds on the last row, or on a 540 level raid. On a 500, you don't normally make it to last row. It just shreds him. But really the hardest part is before all that, when you've got to do it with a crossbow. And I don't recommend doing dehydration at that point if you don't have at least BOFA. So you'll actually have at least one ambrosia, but still. And I'll show you an example here real quick of using melee and why with this bronze longsword. Also, this bronze longsword can be used during the warden's phase. Alright, I'm going to take an ambrosia. During the P3 phase to practice that without hurting the boss. Kind of similar to what we're doing here. If you're trying to learn Insanity, having a hard time with it. So, yeah. Like I was going to show you here. Oh man, I better take another ambrosia. When you're attacking with melee, if you were attacking with melee, just like there, it dragged me in. If you're here, you're attacking with melee, it drags you in. If you're here, it drags you in. And when you're trying to balance all the other stuff that's going on, to also add in the fact that you're worried about, oh, where am I attacking from? What is the location that I'm attacking from? Can I actually attack from here? And then suddenly that drags you right into a boulder, just like that happened right there. In my opinion, that's not worth it, because it's going to increase your odds of wiping more than getting the lower DPS from a crossbow, but being able to attack from anywhere. So yeah, I don't know, that's kind of my general recommendation for this, to learn this after you've learned the Insanity part, and this could be requiring multiple trips through the entire raid. Definitely take life both times. Don't take salts to get through slightly, marginally faster. Not worth it. You want that extra ambrosia so that you can practice the thing you're actually going in there to practice for longer. I don't know. That's how that's what I would recommend anyways. That's not how I did it when I learned it, but that's kind of why I just created this guide. Is I thought it would have been a good way to go about it compared to the kind of grind that I went through. There's a lot of guides out there on how to complete something or whatever, but not on how to, like, I don't know. I mean, I just didn't see any guide that told you to go out there and grind a specific, mechanic this way. And I think this is, I learned a ways down the road, like when I learned Red X, that grinding that mechanic, that I could just spend, I think I spent 45 minutes in there learning Red X and was able to somewhat do it. Within 45 minutes after spending probably 100 hours attacking Baba without or maybe not that long attacking Baba, but at least 100 hours doing the raid without learning Redux, so it's just a game changer, a lot of these mechanics. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this guy off. Yeah, if you don't feel like you have it mastered and you're attacking him and he's going down in health, I definitely don't recommend finishing the guy off. Die, practice again, see what happens. But anyways,